Brian Claypool, criminal defense attorney, joins me now. Brian, first of all, the fact that they're accusing him of not having the courage of looking into Jordan Neely's father's eyes, I don't think courage is in question here. He had the courage to stand up to someone who could potentially have harmed many people on a subway train. He was trying to protect those riders who were clearly scared, which include the elderly. He's a hero in many places, in many people's eyes, but in this courtroom, he is a criminal, accused one.
Yeah, hey, Julie, great to be back with you. Yeah, Alvin Bragg shouldn't be politicizing this. He shouldn't be, pandering to the family after an arraignment. He shouldn't be challenging Daniel Penny to look into Jordan Neely's father's eyes. What this case is really about is the duty of us as human beings to step forward when other people are in harm's way. That's what this is about. And for the last several years, Julie, how many times have we seen videotapes of people being beaten up, injured, harmed by others, and nobody steps up? Penny steps up, and now he's being charged with a crime. But I got to tell you, Julie, at the end of the day, it's going to be virtually impossible for Bragg to get a guilty verdict on both these charges for two quick reasons. Number one, we're just talking about it. We live in dangerous times. We just had a homeless person in LA last night in a pizza parlor walking in with a dog and a knife, trying to kill somebody in a pizza parlor. A teenage girl got murdered a month ago here in LA, getting off a bus by a homeless person that just came up and stabbed her. So we live in different times. And secondly, you heard Penny, Julie, you heard him. He's articulate. And he's a former Marine. He will testify, and many jurors will view him as a hero.
The extra crime of criminally negligent homicide, that's the one that, I think it's going to be very hard to prove. To prove any kind of intent that he intended to harm this person. He was reacting as self-defense. He held the guy. He was trying to hold him for a couple minutes, which is the minutes between two subway stops, not 15 like people originally claimed. And there were people that feared for their lives. So he was defending not only himself, but the entire train car. So how hard is it going to be for the prosecution to prove their case?
Yeah, Julie, so let's break it down. The harder charge to prove is actually the second-degree manslaughter.
Right.
Because that requires Penny to have been acting in what's called reckless disregard for a known justifiable risk. That basically Bragg would have to prove Penny knows that Neely's choking to death and ready to die, and he just continues to hold his neck. There's no way he's ever going to prove that, given the circumstances of Neely getting on the subway and saying, I'm going to kill people, I'm ready to go to jail for life. The one where that he might have a chance at getting a hung jury maybe is the criminal negligent one, is the lower charge. That's a Class E felony. All that requires is carelessness, that Penny acted in gross deviation from what a reasonable person would do. But Julie, I don't think they're going to be able to prove that either, because he was in there trying to protect human beings. That is the bottom line here.
Yeah, he was originally there just to commute. And it just turned out that he was the one brave person in that car to actually stand up for others. Many people don't do the same. And that's why there's so many deaths in our subways because of stabbings, et cetera, being pushed into trains, et cetera. It's not a safe place. Brian Claypool, thank you very much for talking to us. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, Julie.